Excuse me, my good man.
What?
Have a seat. You're going to have a survey today.
Oh, yes. Much as I enjoy standing in queues for tea and crumpets, I will submit your survey. Continue.
Very good, man. Very good. Excuse me, do you know where life on this earth came from?
It's always been here, just like the British Empire.
What if I were to tell you that if we shrunk the entire history of Earth down to a 24-hour clock, it's only been here since 4 o'clock today?
You common waspel? The British have been here forever.
An excerpt from worldly literature. Have you ever spent long nights staring at the ceiling, pondering how the very first organisms on Earth were created? I know I have. That is, until I learned about a little concept called abiogenesis. According to Wikipedia, it is the natural process of life arising from non-living matter. Now don't let this confuse you into thinking that the tater tots in your pocket have the potential to become a real boy. That's called spontaneous generation, which is a dirty word based on buffoonery and primitive misconceptions and won't be mentioned again in this video. Now then, currently the most accepted model for how abiogenesis works was developed by two fellows by the names of Alexander Oparin and J.B.S. Haldane. They believe that organic molecules could develop from non-living materials in the presence of external sources of ultraviolet radiation.
So, Nicholas, you ever heard the Miller-Urey experiment?
Yeah, I think I remember reading an article on the internet about that. That's when the guys got the wheat thins and they fed it to the rabbits and they went all like 4 foot long and eating people, right?
Okay. No.
Oh, man.
No, you're thinking of the Miller-Urey experiment.
Oh, okay.
It's different. Okay, the
Okay.
Miller-Urey experiment is where they found that, like, they just took a whole bunch of atmospheric conditions of what they think primitive Earth would be like. So, nitrogen, no oxygen, because oxygen wasn't there. And they just took all these different gases and stuff, and they basically just shocked it with electricity, and then they formed amino acids that came and made up this beautiful thing. So they think that maybe a primitive They think that maybe a primitive macromolecules could have been formed from inorganic sources, and then by extension, primitive cells.
Whoa, man.
Well,
Some deep science right
better
there.
than wheat thins, I'll say.
I don't know. Wheat thins are pretty good.
But yeah, so, I mean, wheat thins are alright. They're kind of dry. You need some water with them, milk maybe. But have you ever tried it with Nutella? It's really good.
I've actually tried that. I'm gonna go try that.
Yeah, they're pretty good with peanut butter, I think, too.
I like having with cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese would be good, yeah, man.
It's a good source of protein too.
Man, our producer knows what he's talking about.
This video isn't topical.
And now, it's time for a Timbit.
Garbage. So the other day I was reading that the Vikings actually conquered Constantinople at one point. Although usually you think of the Vikings as being like up here in Europe and Constantinople being like down here. The Vikings actually went through the rivers of Russia and took over Constantinople just because they felt like it. And Constantinople had a really big harbor that was the only way to approach the city, and they put a chain across it. So the Vikings put wheels on their ships to go around the chain, and then they burned Constantinople and got lots of slaves and gold and women and stuff. So, good times. Good times.
Wait, what's that, Toad? You want to talk about the RNA world hypothesis? Okay, yeah, I remember that. That's definitely the hypothesis that prior to life being formed on Earth, they had RNA strands, and that, you know, RNA was capable of synthesizing all the essential proteins and chemicals that sustain life. So essentially it was that RNA came before DNA and proteins, and that, you know, it was capable of supporting life in a world that already didn't have life. So, you know, essentially it's the foundation of all life, being that it's the simplest complex compounds that can synthesize life. You think that's fascinating, Toad? What's that? Nick's the best actor ever? Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, thanks, man. You know what? You're pretty good for yourself, too. I think he has Dr. Doolittle 5. Is that what I'm hearing here? Yeah. Oh, man. You know what's great? That abiogenesis is the only plausible theory we have about how life came on this earth. Isn't it great that there's actually, like, no other way that this could have happened? This is definitely the only way that it could have worked.
Not true. I'm the host now. Is actually Toad. Come here.
My leg.
Toad. All right. Toad's gone. All right. So he's a liar. This kid right here is a dirty, rotten liar.
Hey.
And have you ever encountered any other theories about the origins of life on Earth? Well, yes, I have. There's actually this one theory called panspermia, which means seeds everywhere. And it's the theory that life on Earth actually came from life on Mars. So the whole idea is that life on Mars developed prior to life on Earth because Mars cooled faster than Earth and you got water on the surface of Mars and conditions that would allow for the origins of life, for abiogenesis on Mars. And then in this period of early bombardment of our entire solar system, this whole mamby-pamby, willy-nilly banging of stuff is just cosmic things just smacking together and just blowing up, and our whole solar system was in kind of disarray. Wow, that's really interesting. I know, right? Well, anyway, so this idea that Mars cooled first and then Earth cooled, but Mars had a lot more time to develop life or early molecules or early organisms, and a rock, a big rock like an asteroid or something, came and smacked right into the surface of Mars and blasted rocks from Mars all the way onto our dearly beloved Earth. And so then after those rocks landed, they brought with them the early life that was existing on Mars. But that's ridiculous. Wouldn't they just burn up in the atmosphere? Not so. You see, these rocks had lots of nooks and crannies, and they've actually tested, and they've put prokaryotes and other single-celled organisms on what's the word I'm looking for? Nick, what's the word I'm looking for?
Meteors.
No, artificial satellites. That's what I'm looking for. Thanks, Nick. And they put these on, and then when they come back into the atmosphere and burn through the atmosphere, these organisms can survive, actually.
Get him, Cope.
Sorry, Toad distracting me. I'm just really, really excited about this life over here. And so it can actually survive, and they found that certain halophiles and other extremophiles can actually live for months or even years in outer space, which is the conditions that would be necessary for organisms living on an asteroid or Mars rocks coming to Earth. So that is why you cannot say that abiogenesis is the only possible and accepted theory. Back off, Nick.
Ow.
And that, my friends, is how we got life on Earth.
There he is again! England forever! Ah!
You know what's great? Life. All of this right here. The green, the weird purple, the flowers, the mossy mess over there. It's all great. And just think that life happened on this earth, and it's been like billions and billions of years of time span, but it happened. And we're here today, and you're watching this video because life is possible, and plants, and people, and animals. It's all amazing. And also know what's also really amazing is that in this AP biology class that you're going to end up taking, you're not going to learn a single thing about plants. Oh no, you're not. You're going to go about this entire class learning only about animals and cells, but you're not going to learn about the entire thing that covers this entire planet. Look at how much green is behind me. Yeah, it's like maybe one house, 2 houses, and that's like, what, 8 people versus like the 1 billion plants that are behind me? What are you doing, Miss Duda?